Hi, hello, good evening if you are watching this live in the UK or in Europe, and hello from wherever you are in the world if you're watching this in a different time zone or if you are watching this on catch up. Please do drop a comment in the box to say hi or give me a little thumbs up or a heart to let me know you are out there watching. Today we're going to talk about some flexibility and mobility and strength. But before we do that, I just want to mention, and I will mention it again later on, the Solaris Strong Motion Challenge is kicking off again on the 28th of October, which is in about 5 weeks' time. So there's a link in the box to register your interest for that if you haven't done so already. Hey Michelle, how are you doing? Where was I? So yes, click the link, fill in a quick Google form if you want to register your interest, and I will talk about that a little bit later on once we've got through the meat of what I want to talk about today. So flexibility and mobility, they sound very similar. Often people tend to interchange them, but they do mean slightly different things when we're talking about the body. Flexibility is more relating to the muscles themselves and their ability to lengthen, whereas mobility is relating to your joints and how much range of motion they have within their joint, basically. So you can see there's a slight difference. Obviously they are related. If you haven't got flexible muscles, then they're not going to allow mobility in the joints, if you see what I mean. Why do we need mobility? Let's think about our shoulders, for example. Think about reaching from something from a high shelf, thinking about reaching for something in the back of your car, thinking about trying to put your bra on, if we're belly dancers as well, we need to have mobile shoulders so that we can do our arm undulations, so that we can move our arms around the body. And this is just one joint that we're talking about here. This is the shoulder joint. Obviously different types of joints have different types of mobility. So your shoulder joint is very mobile. You can move your arm in lots of different directions, and you have your scapula at the back, which does lots of different movements as well. Your elbow joint, for example, is not so mobile. It just really moves in one direction. So you've got flexion and extension, but it doesn't really go side to side and round and round in a circle. It shouldn't really do that. If you're hypermobile, there may be some exceptions to that, of course. I have a little bit of hypermobility in my elbow. I don't want to do it too much. It's not too bad. I've seen people with much worse than this, but obviously you have to be mindful of this, because being hypermobile means that your body's not naturally stopping the muscles from moving it, or from the joint from moving past its normal range of motion, and this can cause damage to ligaments and tendons. Potentially you can Erin says she doesn't have time to listen. Is this an online challenge? I'll come back to you, Erin, in 2 minutes. So the elbow, where was I? So if you are hypermobile and you're constantly moving past that range of motion which is ideal for the particular joint, then you can stretch tendons, ligaments, and you can cause irreparable damage, which can cause pain later down the line, even if it doesn't hurt now. Potentially arthritis. You can get it's more prone to injury because the joint becomes more unstable. So how do we stop moving, developing strength? And we're going to talk a bit more about strength in a moment. Just wanted to mention one more thing about hypermobility in arms, which is specific to belly dancers. If you do have a little bit of hypermobility in your elbow, you can do this very cool thing, and I'm going to do it only once. When you rotate your shoulder, you can allow the hypermobility to kind of extend your arm undulation a little bit. I'm only going to do it a couple of times, which I think looks really fucking cool, but I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, I used to do this myself when I discovered this range of motion. I was like, oh wow, I've got really like Ripley, Rachel Bryce arm undulations, but someone pointed it out to me and I was like, oh yeah, that's hyperextension. So I've actually trained my arm undulations to just do a little bit less of the extension and making sure they're not going past their natural range of movement. So I would recommend checking out your arm undulations and seeing if you do that, and potentially correcting that if you want to protect your elbows. Anyway, let's talk about how strength fits into all of this. Strength is important for flexibility, because if you think about let's think about our upper body posture, for example. So recognize this posture, recognize this posture. I think most of us have it these days because we have our desk jobs, we're always on our phones. I'm definitely guilty of standing at the bus stop and looking at my phone and not having good posture. So what happens is the muscles in the front of the body become short and potentially tight, and it can lead to shoulder pain, it can lead to neck pain, upper body pain. If you've got any kind of pain in the upper part of your body, it might be related to poor posture, because obviously we do have a natural curve in the top of our spine, but if we're really emphasizing this and our head is down and our head is pushed forward, our head is pushed forward, this is another thing that can happen with this, then that can just pull the whole body out of alignment, which can be a real cause of pain in your shoulders and neck and upper body. So how do we combat this? We could stretch our pecs, for example, but the body wants to protect you. So it won't allow a muscle to stretch if it doesn't think that the opposing muscles are strong enough to support it. Yeah, so get that. So there's a quote that I love from Ashley Lopez: flexibility is earned through strength. So that basically means when your muscles get stronger, it means that your body is going to allow the opposing muscles to release even more and stretch, because they know that there's the strength there to hold that joint stable. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So, for example, in the example of our terrible posture from computers all day, or too much phone, or whatever it is, you can really think about strengthening the muscles in the upper back. This will really help to start to cause some tone in the muscles in the upper back, so your rhomboids, your trapezius, and that tone will help to open up here and give you a much better posture, and hopefully relieve any shoulder or neck pain if you have it. And if you're a belly dancer, added bonus, so strong upper back is going to give you a beautiful posture, and obviously we want a really beautiful posture when we dance. We don't want to be hunched forward like this. We want to be able to lift our arms above our head, particularly those of us who do tribal or ATS or fusion belly dance. And the added benefit also is that when we do our ribcage lifts, for example, or our undulations, the muscles in the upper back are strong there, so they can support the spine again. So then our body feels safe, allowing our spine to do these extensions that we need for nice big juicy rib lifts or big juicy undulations, or if you're training for something like back bends or something along those lines, then you have that added benefit as well. So I think that was all I wanted to say about that. I'm just checking my notes down here. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to drop them in the box. Erin, I don't know whether you've gone away or not, but if you haven't already, sign up for the challenge, and the challenge will be coming at the end of October. This is just a little bit of informational video for you now, so hopefully it's not too long and you can watch it later on. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about flexibility. I mean, there's so much more we can dive into. I don't want this video to be too long. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a taster about why you should maybe think about doing some strength work as well as some mobility work and stretching, particularly for your upper body, but this applies to all of your joints, to all of your muscles as well. So if you do want to do some work on your upper body, of course we have the next Solaris Strong Motion Challenge coming up. What is Strong Motion? Well, it's my program for busy belly dancers and people who belly dance who want to improve their strength and mobility for life as well as dance. So remember, I was talking about those things that you just do every day, like putting your bra on and reaching into the back of the car, reaching onto a high shelf, whatever it might be. These things are so important because we are humans before we're dancers, basically. So we want to be able to do these things well as be able to do beautiful arm undulations and have a beautiful dance posture. And the challenge that I'm doing, starting on the 28th of October, is a 14-day challenge where we cover a lot of material, lots of exercises for you to do to start to build some more mobility in your shoulders, to build some more strength there as well. And we look at arm undulations in a little bit of detail as well to give you some focused belly dance content within the challenge. And on top of that, we're going to talk a little bit about building a regular practice habit so that you can start to implement these things into your everyday lives. If you don't have much time, then don't worry. It's only about 10 minutes a day and builds up a little bit towards 15 minutes towards the end of the challenge, but most days it's only around 10 minutes. And it's totally free of charge. So if you are interested in that, if you're interested in hearing more about strength and flexibility and mobility, particularly for your upper body, then if you haven't done so already, please do fill in the Google form here and add yourself to the list, and I will be in touch with some more information soon. So I don't think I have had any more questions through, so I'm going to leave you for this evening and let you get on. Thanks so much for watching, and if you are watching on catch up, please do feel free to add any questions. Do tag me so I'll see them, and otherwise just give me a little like or a heart if you have enjoyed this, or perhaps even share with a friend who you think might like the content. So thank you very much, take care, and bye bye.